Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today I'm excited to bring you the all-new 2024 Buick Envision here in its sport touring trim level. Now the Envision has been announced and debuted from Buick and General Motors for quite some time, but it's now just starting to arrive on dealership lots where you can now go ahead and purchase one for yourself. Now the Envision remains a very popular and kind of crucial vehicle to the Buick lineup, given it sits in a very popular kind of luxury compact SUV segment, sitting between the Encore GX and that of its larger sibling, of course, the Buick Enclave, which is also going to be all new for the 2025 model year. So this is a relatively high volume vehicle for the Buick lineup, so it's important that General Motors and Buick does obviously a good job refreshing and revising this vehicle for its all new next generation. Now pricing and everything like that remains mostly unchanged and is very similar to that of the outgoing model, although this Envision is now only available in 3 trim levels: the Preferred, Sport Touring, and the Top Avenir. All of them come standard with all-wheel drive, including the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making very similar power to that of the outgoing Envision. But without further ado, let's not waste your time. See what the Envision Sport Touring has to offer with the comfort and convenience package for just over $43,000. So the Envision in front of us is finished in the Moonstone Gray exterior with the Sky Cool Gray and Ebony two-tone leather on the inside. Now for this latest generation, the Envision is going to adopt Buick's latest design language, which matches that of several other Buick SUVs currently offered on the market, such as the Envista, the Encore GX, and of course the upcoming Buick Enclave as well. So from the front end, it is going to be a little bit tough to distinguish at a glance some of these Buick SUVs from one another, but overall they do offer a lot of differences, mainly on the inside of each vehicle, which we'll get to a little bit later in this video. But anyway, starting at the front end of every Envision, you're going to find full LED lighting, including LED daytime running lights, turn signals in that upper housing, as well as the dual LED projectors down below. Now this one, being a sport touring, does get some unique design and appearance differences versus that of the Preferred as well as the Avenir. So you can see you're going to have the dark chrome boomerang sections as well as the dark chrome along the gloss black front fascia. There you do get the darker grille design with the 360 surround view camera system that is going to be standard on every single Envision, and then the ST badging here on the passenger side, as well as the updated 3-crest Buick logo in the red, white, and blue on the hood there. So overall, I really do like the updated design of this vehicle and Buick's latest design language in general. Now coming along the side of the vehicle, you will find some nice gloss black accents around the wheel arches, the lower door section, then it will wrap into the rear bumper as well. Then you do have the nice gloss black mirror caps as well as the roof rails up top, again to help differentiate it versus the other trim levels. Now coming to the wheel and tire setup, this is going to be an ST specific carbon flash painted wheel, kind of in a split 5-spoke design. It is going to be riding on a 245/45 20-inch Continental Pro Contact TX all-season tire, so pretty nice, high quality all-season. You do get the gloss black mirror caps, as I mentioned, with the cameras for the HD surround view camera system. They are of course going to be heated, do offer blind spot detection, and then the driver's side as well as the interior mirror is going to be auto dimming. You do get proximity entry on all 4 door handles. And then taking a look at the side profile, you can really see all of those nice gloss black accents here on the ST trim in specific. And then finally coming out back, there is going to be a look at the LED lighting setup. Now speaking of the LED lighting setup, you can see one aspect that might stand out, especially on this color combination, is going to be the tail lamps. Now I'm not exactly sure if this is exactly what the tail lamps are supposed to look like or if kind of they designed around it, but it is going to have a pinkish hue to it. Given that GM did put a little bit of tint on the actual plastic lens, and then the LEDs are going to be hidden behind it. Now it does have LED brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights all integrated up there. Coming down below, you can see you have the fake dual outlet exhaust along with the nice dark and chrome accent trim, rear parking sensors, and the rear reverse lights actually located in the center of the rear bumper design. It is also going to be an LED design, but the tail lamps and turn signals are going to be the only lights up there. And you do have the 3-crest logo with the rear backup camera, and then all-wheel drive badging is going to be here on the left side, as well as your Buick logo there on the right. So a little bit of an interesting design with those kind of pinkish tinted lights. Not exactly sure if that's something that everyone's going to be a fan of on this vehicle, but certainly is not a terrible thing, just a little bit different from what we're obviously used to. But that's a look at the exterior of the Envision ST. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the window sticker on this particular vehicle so you guys know exactly how it's equipped, and then we'll dive onto the interior. So take a look at the window sticker. This Sport Touring is actually a fully loaded model with the optional comfort and convenience package, panoramic sunroof, and the moonstone gray exterior color. So the Envision as a whole is going to come with a lot of standard equipment that you might not normally find on a vehicle under the $40,000 price point, which is why I think GM is kind of targeting the value luxury segment with this particular vehicle, getting things like the power driver seat, memory seats, heads-up display, Bose 9-speaker premium audio system, and of course this one being the Sport Touring has the larger 20-inch wheels. You have the 30-inch ultra-wide screen on the interior with the Google integration, adaptive cruise control, adaptive forward lighting, etc. It really is fully loaded from the factory. Then you have a couple things like the comfort and convenience package, which includes the dual zone automatic climate control, heated front seats, remote start, hands-free power liftgate, and a couple other items as well. And then of course the panoramic sunroof in the moonstone gray bring the total MSRP including destination to $43,635. So taking a look on the interior, once again, this one has the sky cool gray and ebony two-tone leather on the inside. I think it looks extremely nice, especially when paired to this exterior color. Now starting out here on the door pan, you're going to find a very familiar design to that of some other recent GM products with just a few unique touches. So up top you have kind of a soft touch textured section. This is going to be a flat kind of stainless steel look to it with a little bit of a pattern in it. And then you're going to get kind of a unique cloth insert here on the back side of the door with the leather accent and of course the white and brown accent stitching on the armrest portion. It is going to have power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic front two windows. There's the driver's side memory seating, power liftgate down below, as well as the standard 9-speaker Bose premium audio system. Now the ST does add the unique stainless steel sill plate here with the ST branding, and there's going to be a look at the power driver seat with 4-way power lumbar, as well as the seating surfaces with that nice bright white contrast in the accent stitching. And then there's going to be a look at the dashboard. Now one item I did want to point out here on the seats is that it does have some of that unique cloth insert here on the side bolsters of the seat as well as on the bottom that does match the door panel. It's kind of hard to describe. It's a very shallow depth kind of microfiber type of material, kind of suede but kind of not at the same time. It's a very interesting material, one you kind of have to check out in person. Now immediately here on the interior of the Buick Envision, there's going to be a sense of kind of a minimalistic look along with some nice premium updated technology with that 30-inch digital cluster as well as infotainment system. So in front of the driver, you're going to find part of that screen is allocated to the fully digital cluster that is going to be controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel. Now there is going to be some preset menus that you can switch between like that of other recent GM products, including that Google Maps integration, as you can see, allocates about half the screen right there. And then if you go ahead and cycle through some of the other pages, you can have adaptive cruise control, other driver assistance technologies, your speed limit, obviously, current MPG, and some other trip information. So overall, there is going to be a decent amount of customization, but not the most customization out of any manufacturer out there. Now on the left side of the screen here, you're going to have a fixed portion which has some of your heads-up display controls, for example, as well as your current direction down at the bottom. So you can quickly adjust the heads-up display with kind of 3 little preset settings here, including rotation, height, as well as brightness. And then you can quickly turn off and on the heads-up display via that power button just above it. So really like these fixed digital controls that are always going to be on no matter which screen you're on. And of course, continuing on, you do have some more controls for the main infotainment system as well as your vehicle settings over here, which we will touch on a little bit later. Now coming back to the steering wheel, this is going to be a leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, flat bottom design in the ST in specific. You can see it has some nice chrome accents with the red, white, and blue logo in the middle. This is a new steering wheel design to my knowledge for General Motors. I think it's going to be the exact same one or a very similar one found in the upcoming Buick Enclave as well. It does have your cruise control with some of your other driver assistance adaptive cruise control settings here on the left side, and on the right side does have the heated functionality as well as your digital infotainment system controls and phone controls and stuff, and then phone settings and stuff like that over there on the right. On the back side, you do have paddle shifters for the 9-speed automatic transmission, as well as some rockers to control tune and volume on the infotainment screen. Coming over here to the left of the steering wheel, you have your wiper control. It does not look like they are automatic rain sensing in this particular trim level. And then you do have your new gear selection for that 9-speed transmission over there on the right side. Now to the left of the steering wheel, you have electronic parking brake, your drive mode select. It looks like we have off-road, sport, all-wheel drive, and tour drive modes. lane keeping assist, as well as your engine stop start on off, and then there is going to be the digital cluster dimming controls for the screen and some of the other buttons. Coming across the dashboard, you have more of that kind of accent cloth and stitching here on the left side. Of course, looking out there, you do have your heads-up display, which can be configured a little bit via the infotainment system, as well as those adjustments on the left side of the steering wheel. And then coming over here to the main infotainment system, this is going to be a very similar design to that of some other recent GM products, obviously with Buick's own skin on top of it. So it looks like we have your time, your ambient temperature, some notifications, as well as your current profile over here on the left side. Here's all of your interchangeable fixed in place buttons that you can kind of go to your different shortcuts with. So you have your Google Maps, audio, phone, as well as controls at the very bottom that let you kind of adjust your headlights, auto high beam assist, your cameras, park assist, hill descent control, and then you can click that for a little bit of additional customization via the settings menu. Now, of course, you can rearrange any of these icons by holding down for a couple seconds and then dragging and dropping, of course. This does have Google integration as well as Amazon Alexa. It does support wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is awesome to see. I really do like that functionality for anybody that wants to offer it. And of course, it does have some ambient lighting, vehicle status, climate control, things like that can be integrated and help you, customize your experience a little bit further. So overall, make sure you guys stay tuned here to the channel. I might create a full walkthrough of this infotainment system here in the near future once I get a little bit more familiar with it. Now, at the very bottom of the screen, you can see some of your climate controls as well as your heated seat controls are going to be found on the screen as well. So unfortunately, no hard touch buttons for the heated seats, but you do have hard touch controls for the dual zone climate control a little bit farther down. Now, speaking of the ambient lighting, you can kind of see it right there just beneath the kind of bronze accent metal trim here on the middle section to the left of the steering wheel, as well as on the right side as well. I really do like this textured kind of faux wood trim around the screen. I think that looks actually very premium, and obviously it's not going to be gloss black, so it should keep the glare off the screen down as well. There's your push button stop start for the engine, dual zone automatic climate control with fan speed adjustments, and then your two AC fans just below the screen there. Coming down to the center console, you have a cubby with your wireless phone charger at the very front, as well as a USB-A, USB-C, and 12-volt outlet in case you want to use those charging needs. Then you have a knob for the actual volume and power for the radio. So great to see that they actually put the knob a little bit more accessible and closer to that of the driver's seat. I actually really do like this location in comparison to having it actually up here on the screen or somewhere near the climate controls. And then you can really see this sea of gloss black plastic here in this area around the two cup holders, which will probably be a little bit, prone to scratching or scuffing fairly easily, especially if you use the cup holders all the time. Now here's the traditional, GM key fob with remote start, power liftgate, etc. on it that we've gotten used to for quite some time. You have a cubby just in front of the center console, and then you do have a split folding padded leather wrap center console here in the middle, which reveals a little bit of additional storage space. Unfortunately, no USB charging or any lights or anything in there. Now below the center console, you do have a little bit of additional storage space down below, not as large as that of some other recent vehicles, but certainly not going to be bad either. Always welcome additional storage, and overall it does offer a pretty good design flow here in the middle of the vehicle. Now coming up top, you do have the lighter accent headliner with this interior. There's your vanity illumination. It does have auto dimming interior rearview mirror, as I mentioned, OnStar passenger airbag, overhead LED lighting, power sunroof controls, as well as 3 garage home links right there. And then opening the shade a little bit, you can see it is just going to be a 1 power shade, fairly slow in motion, and show you guys just how large it will open. It is a fairly large piece of glass in a vehicle of this size. So overall, it's always welcome to see, a huge opening. If you are going to option a sunroof, it might as well, be a useful one at that. Now taking a look at the back seat of the Envision, I'm glad to say that most of the materials will follow through from the front. So starting out here on the door panel, as you can see, pretty much all the materials are going to mimic the front seat, including the lower door storage. There's the two-tone accent leather wrap seats. And then stepping inside, the step-in height is going to be actually very easy given the large door opening. There's going to be a quick look at the dashboard. And then coming out back, we do have 2 AC vents as well as 2 USB charging ports down below. Mat pockets on both of the front seats. Do have a center armrest with 2 cup holders. And it looks like these seats unfortunately do not recline, so they're kind of fixed in place right here, but do have a little notch out there to get a little bit more comfortable. And overall, you can see I have a good amount of rear legroom with, 4 or 5 inches of legroom, plenty of footroom down below, and overall headroom is going to be good as well. Although with the sunroof here, it does cut in just a little bit to where I'm within about inch and a half of actually touching the ceiling there. But overall, I really do like the rear seat back shape. It kind of gets a little cut in, so you aren't as upright in the seat, but it is a little bit more upright than that of some other vehicles I've been in, especially with the available reclining functionality, which this vehicle does not appear to have. So overall, back seat's in pretty good shape. No major amenities to note in this particular trim level. I believe there is more in the top Avenir. Now, taking a look at the cargo capacity of the Envision, of course, you do get that power liftgate as standard. And then take a look inside, you can see there is going to be a good amount of room behind these second row seats. Now, one thing I do want to mention is you do get the cargo privacy cover in the Sport Touring as well as the Avenir. I do not believe this is found in the base preferred, at least according to GM's order guide, so do keep that in mind. And it can be removed via pulling the strings off of those, obviously, if you want a little bit of additional height. But looking back here, it looks like we have LED lights on the left and right hand side of the vehicle, a 12-volt outlet back here as well, good notch outs on the sides for a little bit of additional space. And then beneath the floor, you do have a temporary spare tire, a little bit of additional storage room, but really not a ton of underfloor storage. It's mainly going to be limited to here. And you can see these seats are going to be 60-40 split, with the larger side being on the passenger side of the vehicle. So that's a look at the cargo area. Now, finally wrapping it up here on the passenger front seat. Of course, materials are going to follow through from the rest of the vehicle. And important to note, you only get a 6-way manual seat on the passenger side, so a power seat is not available on this particular trim level. But nice to see you do get a height adjustment. There's more of that cloth insert that I mentioned on the door panels. And then taking a look at the glove box, it is going to be damped. It does have a good amount of room inside. And there you can see some of your original owner's literature and stuff like that. So yeah, that's gonna be a look here at the 2024 Buick Envision ST. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, see what powers this particular vehicle, and then go ahead and wrap up this video. So under the hood of every single Envision for this next generation, you're gonna find the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now this puts out 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque through all 4 wheels, as all-wheel drive is gonna be standard. So overall, the powertrain configuration is going to be very similar to that of the outgoing Envision, but I'm sure Buick made a few tweaks to the overall tuning of the engine as well as the powertrain, just to make it a little bit more refined and more smooth for the end user. So that's going to do it here for this quick walk-around tour of the all-new 2024 Buick Envision ST or Sport Touring. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful as always. Upon my first impression of this vehicle, while I think it actually has some very good, attractive design elements and things I actually really do like, including these two-tone seats. I like the bronze accents here on the interior with that unique kind of cloth material. I'm not exactly sure what they call it. Almost feels like a very shallow kind of soft foam. But very interesting use throughout the cabin. And I think the worst part about the interior space that I actually don't like is the gloss black or piano black plastic here in the center console. Outside of that, I think they did a very good job choosing the material usage. And for the roughly $40,000 price point, which this vehicle starts at, I think it actually offers a good amount of features, creature comforts, and amenities that really one would expect in this segment of SUV. Now, sure, the Avenir is going to offer a lot more additional equipment, but you guys will have to decide if it's worth the roughly $5,000 to $6,000 price differential for those additional options and features. Now, it would be nice to have ventilated front seats in this particular vehicle, among a couple other things, but I think as this one sits, it's really not too bad of a price point, including the standard all-wheel drive 2-liter turbo powertrain. With all that information in mind, let me know your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you haven't already. Is this a vehicle on your shopping list if you are interested in purchasing one, or is there another vehicle that you would rather purchase for the roughly $40,000 to $43,000 price point? Let me know that all in the comment section below and why. Interested to hear that. But overall, I think it is going to be a pretty hot product for Buick within their relatively fresh lineup. But anyways, I appreciate your continued support here on the channel, and as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.